It's about love, it's about passion, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn, bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors on this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors on this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors on this heart of mine.
Hello. Good morning, Unity of Omaha. Good morning. My name's Elisa Choquette. I love being with you here today, both a few of us in person, properly social distancing, and then, of course, all of you in virtual land. Hello, we miss you. Great that we can still connect in this way. And if you're new to Unity of Omaha through virtual land, can't wait to meet you. So welcome. Glad we got to celebrate today. We have just a few announcements before we get our God on. So we have a new SEE class coming up. Well, actually, it just started. It's on Wednesdays. We have a morning one at 11:30 and then an evening one at 7 p.m. It's on health and wholeness, so very appropriate. And I think Tony mentioned last week, this course will change your life. You just walk out with a whole new perspective and full of life and energy. So if you would like to attend, we have a virtual version and also an in-person one with the 10-person limit so we can, again, properly social distance. So just go ahead and contact the office if you'd like to join. It's still not too late. And as just like our class, we have lots of things still going on, and you want to be in the know with it all. So we have our weekly email blast that you can look up. If you're not on that email list, let the office know you would like to be. Also, Facebook. We have so much going on Facebook. And I know that a lot of us aren't on Facebook at this time, but you can actually just join Unity of Omaha, mute everything else, and then you'll be in the know that way as well. And we're even branching out onto Instagram because we're super cool like that. So contact the office if you're not in one of those forums and just want to know what's going on. And if you want to stay connected beyond just our time together this morning here in service, we are going to have our Zoom meeting as we have been doing. Joyce, I think it's going to be Joyce, will attach that link to the Zoom meeting in the comments towards the end of service, and you just click on that link and you can see those friendly faces and perhaps some new faces. It's a great way to get to know us if you've just found us via Facebook and YouTube in these recent weeks. Of course, we still want to support you in prayer. So our chaplains are making their calls, but they're also happy to support you in prayer. So just email them at prayer@unityomaha.org. Again, if you don't have an email available, just call the office and they will get you in touch with the chaplain. They're here to support you as always. Prayer@unityomaha.org. And we always appreciate your support. We love seeing your faces, and that support can also come through in many ways. You can go digitally. You just go to unityomaha.org, and at the bottom, then there's a donate button. And you can also mail those as well to the office so that we can keep doing the amazing things we're doing, even in curious times as these. So just one more announcement. As part of that health and wholeness, we want to affirm we also have some masks, and they're only $5.50. So again, just contact the office, and we can get those to you. We should totally do a fashion show with these. We can just bring it. Tony, you can have shoes that match the mask. We should do this. Okay, masks, $5.50 if you need them. They're super cute. All right, so we've got those announcements out of the way. Let's go ahead and move into our unity time. And we're going to start off by affirming our vision, because our vision in and of itself is a prayer, and we want this vision to come true, right? So I invite you to say it with me. Even out there, say it out loud. It's powerful. Let's say it together. In oneness, with universal energy, we celebrate a world united in divine love. Yes, we do. How do we do that? Even today, we still have that mission that we're living day in and day out. So please affirm this with me as well. We raise vibrational consciousness through creative teachings, positive prayer, and a nurturing community. Indeed, we do. So prayer, definitely a foundation of unity. So we want to take time for that today. So I invite you to close your eyes, to relax your gaze, and to take in a deep breath. And as we focus this month on play, knowing that we play in the zone, free and unrestrained, today we remember to play. When I find myself with an extra bit of time or an unexpected boost of energy, I know those dishes can wait because I remember to play. I'm going to hum a little tune, take my dog for a walk and play some fetch, reach out and play a game with a child, connect with an old friend and laugh. I'm going to flirt with a love. I'm going to create arts, music, games, laughter. I remember to play today. And I'll also keep a playful curiosity of what's around the bend. For I know that there's always good out there and more good on its way. And I invite those surprises with a playful curiosity. I will delight in my daydreams. I'll release the worries of the what ifs and instead play in what's now. I'll remember to play and greet it with youthful curiosity. Because when I play, I am connecting with my highest self. I am connecting to my power of joy, my divine power of zeal, enthusiasm, and yes, my divine power of wisdom. For it is wise to take time to play. When I play, I am in the zone. I am in that flow of the divine, a powerful co-creator. And that simple moment of connecting to play, to joy, will propel everything else I do in the day. It is powerful to play. And so I remember that today. And so it is. Amen.
This is the Spirit song, so we're going to ask everyone to stand. Can you see anybody across the room from you? There we go. Now the waving starts. It's wonderful to see friends, right? There's a word called Sangha, community, right? Here we are. Life is brilliant, so resilient. Life is simply infinitely magic. Open your eyes, you'll see the way to let your life be magic every day. Special when it's love-filled, simple faith. Such a treasure. Here we go. Life is splendor.
Life is splendor.
Everyone.
Sweet surrender.
Oh,
Life is simply infinitely magic. Open your life,
yeah.
you'll find a way
Oh, to let
your life be magic.
to let your
life be magic.
to let your
To
life
let your life be magic every day.
Hello, great to be here. Welcome to the Unity community. Think excitement, talk excitement, act out excitement, and you are bound to become an excited person. Life will take on a new zest, deeper interest, and greater meaning. You can think, talk, and act yourself into dullness, or into monotony, or into unhappiness. By the same process, you can build up inspiration, excitement, and a surging depth of joy. Norman Vincent Peale.
Got a new song this morning. A lot of times in life, things can be difficult, right? But as they're difficult, so into the present moment, allow joy to come. Listen to Miss Tanya Duvall as we sing This Joy.
This joy is remarkable. This joy is contagious. This joy is invincible. This joy is outrageous. It's more than I dreamed of. I love this joy. This joy is radical. This joy was always waiting. This joy is ravishing. This joy was worth creating. From things I let go of. I love this joy. Mr. Bill Tuttle. This joy is remarkable. This joy is contagious. This joy is invincible. This joy is outrageous. And it's more than I dreamed of. I love this joy. Oh, this joy is radical. This joy
thank you so much, Tanya. Great. And Kaylin, it's so good to have Kaylin on the stage with us. So just so you guys know, we've just got a few more weeks with Kaylin until she heads off to create her personal life as she begins her teaching career in Colorado. So enjoy her while she's here with us for sure today. So welcome. Glad you're here. It's wonderful to see a few of you here in the room. Know that here at Unity of Omaha, we are not fully open, but we are open with limited seating. If this is something that speaks to you and you feel safe and comfortable coming into this space, please get a hold of us and let us know that that is your desire. And then we can communicate with you what the requirements are and, if there's make sure that we have space within those realms on that given Sunday. So you can email me, Becky, B-E-C-K-Y, at unityomaha.org and let me know. And just because we do keep up with who's here. It's part of us being good stewards of who we are and who we're here to be. So, this 2020 vision this year is something else, isn't it? Wow. And this month, as we focus on, I play in the zone free and unrestrained. It was kind of interesting because as we started service, our live streaming was having some restraint issues. It wasn't sharing sound. So we had to help educate our technology that it's okay to be unrestrained. So anyway, we're glad we got that fixed. So this morning, what I'm wanting to actually talk a little bit about is free and unrestrained. Really? Are we? What does that really mean? As we play in the zone, free and unrestrained, do we really understand what that is? I know on the very first Sunday, I talked about the zone, being that place of being in divine alignment, being spiritually connected, being conscious and present. Okay. And we know that as we talk about things in the spiritual realm, what we're doing is we're creating an inner foundation for outward expressions, right? Isn't that what we teach in Unity? That's what we're all about. So this morning, I want to talk a little bit about that free and unrestrained thing. Now, I like to sometimes give definitions to set the ground rule of what a word is. So here's what's interesting. When I looked up the word free, I wound up with 3 pages of definition. It's kind of like that word love. It depends on who's saying it and what context as to what it means, right? But there is one meaning in these 3 pages that I feel holds true for us. Enjoying personal freedom, not subject to the control or domination of another. You are free to do whatever you want. Well, that sounds good. Now, what I will say is that is not anything, for some reason, that any of us experience in the physical realm. Because we are always giving away our power. We are always giving away our freedom. But that is something that we have the capacity of having in our spiritual presence. It also says not determined by anything beyond its own nature or being. Choosing or capable of choosing for itself a player free to negotiate a contract with a team. So are we free to negotiate the contract with the team of our being, with the team of those of all others that engage with us on that spiritual plane? Yeah. We're not stuck, are we? So to be free is to determine by the choice of the actor or performer free actions. We have freedom to act on the spiritual realm. And the other piece, too, is, and in that freedom never comes without some sort of a cost. So many times as we exhibit our freedom in spiritualness, we have to say, okay, in order for me to be free, I have to let go of that. Because that may be restrictive, right? It happens. It happens. To be free is to be made, done, or given voluntarily or spontaneously to give free consent. There's a big difference in free when it comes to our physical being, our life in the world, and being free on the spiritual realm. There's a big difference when we talk about being unrestrained in the world around us and unrestrained in the spiritual realm. Charles Fillmore, one of our co-founders, and I'm going to give you this in a paraphrase version because Charles used all the he's and hims in his talk, and I like for us to realize that it's we's rather than that, to bring it more of a global languaging. So all the real mastery that we attain in the world has its roots in our mind. And when we open up the mental realm of our being, nothing is unattainable. Wow. That's pretty powerful, isn't it? It's not saying that the physical constraints may not be present, but what it's saying is that we have the capacity in our minds to create. So we are unrestrained and unlimited. One of the things that I'm noticing in the world, and I've sat and I've thought a lot about this. I've thought a lot about it in our global environment. I thought a lot about it in my personal life. When things don't feel great on the outside, it really dictates a time for me to look what's going on the inside. I think, and this is my opinion, and I'm entitled to it, and because you are free and unrestrained, you're entitled not to take it on. All right? Is that fair? But my thoughts around this are, the reason we're seeing so much anger, hostility, unrest in the world around us is because there is so much of that present within us. Because we haven't done our inner work. Because we're too busy looking for something outside of us to fix it. And there's no such thing. If we don't come to a place of inner freedom and inner expression, will we ever see it in the world around us? I don't think so. I don't know that we're capable of seeing something that we don't know. I remember years ago in the movie, now I've lost the name of it, What the Bleep? They showed these indigenous people standing on the shore and they're looking out and they see nothing because they had no concept of what a ship was. But until they had a concept, until they had an idea, until they recognized it inside as to what it wasn't present. So are we truly able to see peace, love, harmony, joy, and freedom in our world outside of us if we are not able to recognize it and see it and embrace it within us? I don't think we are. So what does that tell me? And like I said, this is my opinion. You're welcome to it or not because you're free. But for me, what that tells me is that's where the work is. We can stand around and we can complain and we can talk about this politician and that politician. We can talk about this school board and that school board. We can talk about this wearing a mask and that wearing a mask or not. But what is it within us? Where do we come to that place of peace within us? Where do we exhibit and really work on our personal inner freedom? Now, here's the other thing. Your personal inner freedom does not give you the right to impose it on anybody else. It's yours. That's like I said, I will share with you my view. And you know what? I'm free to be okay whether you like it or not. Whether you accept it or not. It's all right. You know, Charles Fillmore went on to say that freedom, is a result of regulating one's life according to principle, not according to what anyone else may say or think. It's not up to anybody else to regulate what goes on inside of you. That is really the only place that we have full control, is it not? Is what goes on in here. That's it. That's it. If you think otherwise, if you think you have control, spend about an hour with a cat. No such thing. Or a 2-year-old. You have no control. Or a puppy. Or a puppy. If you think you have control, no, those are things that will remind you that this right here is the only thing that you have control over. And this is the place where we come to a point of regulation. And it doesn't matter whatever anybody else says or thinks. You know, what I've said for years, and many of you have heard me say it to you, what other people think of you is none of your business. That's their stuff. Leave it alone. This is what matters. What do you think of yourself? And if you don't like what you think of yourself, then how can you change that? Charles also went on to say, freedom leads to many errors. What? But since it is part of being, we must learn to use it properly. We must learn that the freedom of the law means control and conservation, not lust and license. Freedom leads to many errors. You know, I think Charles Fillmore said a lot of true things in his life, but I do believe this is one of the truest. Because when I fully step into my freedom of thought and being, I'm probably going to make an error. And the interesting piece is, I don't have anybody to go at. I don't have anybody to complain to. I don't have anybody to blame. And it's not that blame is even necessary. That's the joy of an error, isn't it? When we see it, when we experience it, we have an opportunity to change, or as the word that we hear in the Bible, repent, which just means to change direction. We have an opportunity to change direction, to shift how we're thinking and being, to step into something else. And you know, a lot of times, I know in my life, I feel like I go from error to error to error because I'm finding my way. That's part of it. How many of you have ever seen an infant just all of a sudden get up and walk? Chances are they're going to get up and they're going to crawl and they're going to stand up and they're going to fall, they're going to grab a table and they're going to tumble because they're practicing. They're learning. They're learning how to manage their bodies. They're learning how to control their beingness. Let me just throw that on the floor. They're learning what their capacity is. And as we grow as spiritual beings, we don't just go all of a sudden, get it, do we? We have to try this. You know, when we're learning meditation, it takes us a while. We may be able to meditate for 30 seconds. You know, we may be able to meditate a little longer. But we are the ones who usually place judgment on ourselves as to whether we're doing it right or not. And in the realm of all that is, I'll let you in on a secret. In the realm and the ethers of God, there is no such thing as right or wrong. There just is. So this aspect of us is what calls it an error or wrong thinking. And usually we call it wrong if it doesn't feel good. That's our choice. There is a freedom that we experience. So, you know, Myrtle also had some views on this. She had a view on freedom. And she said to enjoy without possession. That's freedom. Because here's one thing I thought about this. So if you enjoy something but you possess it, you're not really free because you're kind of tied to it because you own it, aren't you? You're tied to it. Therefore, constraints and restraints begin. To see without coveting. You can see something, but when you begin to covet it, what happens? You're locked to it. You begin to be locked to it. To have without holding. You know, we can have joy. We can have great experiences and relationships. But the minute we take hold of something, we've limited the freedom of it, haven't we? To be without seeming. To just be. To just show up. And she goes on to say, in short, to be myself without desire, knowing all that is for me, for my pleasure and the satisfaction of my immortal soul. All that is on that realm. Now, please hear me. We're talking about spirituality here. All that is available to me for my pleasure and the satisfaction of my immortal soul, of my beingness. She goes on to say that I am a monarch of all I survey. My right there is none to dispute. To be generous-hearted, what I see, others may see. What I enjoy, others may share also on equal terms with me. See, I think that's one of the places we've gotten stuck in culture today. Because if I see it, if I enjoy it, then it's mine. It's not something. If I share it, then it might not be the same. Can joy be diminished by sharing it with somebody else? No. What happens when we share joy with someone else? That's right. I see a few people doing this in the room. Hopefully those of you at home are doing this. Because as we share our joy, it magnifies. And so as we move into our spiritual freedom, into our unfettered experience, into our unrestrained lives, we do so in that realm of unlimitedness, in that realm of knowing that by me seeing something, me having joy in something, by you seeing something, you having joy in something, doesn't stop anybody else from that. We all have that capacity. Because as soon as we begin to move into this realm of thinking happiness is limited, joy is limited, love is limited, what are we doing? We're limiting God. We're claiming that in this realm of unlimited potential, in the ethers of all that is good, that there are barriers on what's available. And that is a universal falsehood. It is nothing true about that. It's always there. It's always available to us. And so, there's a Rumi quote that I love. It says, "You have escaped the cage." And to me, it's the cage of your limiting mind. It's the cage of the limitations that you place on your spirit. Your wings are stretched out because now you're free. Now fly. Fly. Be free. Play. Have joy. Have the experience of truly being free and unrestrained in your spiritual expression. What an opportunity we have. And I just call on us. I call on us to pay attention and to go within and say, if I'm not seeing joy around me, what do I need to do to find the joy within me? Because there is the set point. There is the place where the work starts. Our world will never be any different until we become different on the inside. And so I'm going to invite us to move into a time of meditation. I'm going to invite us to close our eyes and be gentle with ourselves in this moment. And as we take a few deep breaths into that divine essence of who we are, We breathe into our core, into our center. Very slowly. Very evenly. And we allow our inner being to recognize the freedom it has to be, to express, to shine. Very gently, we allow ourselves to look through all of those inner spaces of our being. We allow ourselves to examine where we may not be seeing freedom, the freedom to be, where we may not be seeing love or joy. Those places where fear may be hanging out. And we bring in the divine light and shine it on all of that. And as that divine healing light comes in and shines on all of those places where fear or worry may be holding us captive, we allow our hearts to be filled with that essence of love. We allow ourselves to be immersed in truth teachings. The teachings that we know that what is within us shows up in our world. And so it is with that deepest intent, with that desire, that we allow those things that aren't in that perfect harmony to be transformed, to be lightened, to be given wings of freedom. And it is in this energy that we play. It is in this energy that we allow our being the freedom to express, to love, to share, to play. Oh, the joys. And I invite you to hold with me that warmth, that heart that is growing in that light, knowing that as it does, it shifts our vibration, our energy. Knowing that as it does, it helps change the world, not only within us, but around us. And I invite you to rest in that energy and continue to call in light, to fill, to transcend everything that isn't in that harmony. As we move into a few minutes of silence, we do so and continue this work in the silence. And as we begin to come back and bring our focus back to this realm. We hold on to that feeling. We know and we claim that joy of being and joy of expressing as the light. Oh, so we are blessed. We are blessed for this opportunity that we've had to be together, for this opportunity that we've had to go within and to feel the joy, to feel the blessings, and to truly know what inner peace and inner love is like. We are grateful. And it is in this energy that we bring our consciousness and our focus back to this moment, in this place, wherever we are. And so it is. Amen. Oh. So thank you for being on this journey with me. And thank you for being fellow travelers with me. Because what I know is everything that you are experiencing, every feeling that you have, is being held by everyone. And we can deny it, but the truth is, we are all of one heart, one spirit. And so everything that is available to one is available to all. So this is the time when we would typically go through our sacred walk of abundance. And I would invite you to share and speak, and those in this room, to speak this affirmation, abundant affirmation with me. I center in the knowing of abundance, and in that knowing, blessings flow in and through me. So those of you that are in this space, there is a goblet outside. There are also affirmations outside. You're welcome to utilize those as you leave the building. For those of you that are at home, while our singers are performing, we invite you to hold in consciousness that gift that you want to share with this ministry. The ministry is supported through your giving, through your tithes, offerings, and investments in the mission of who we are and who we continue to be. So I will leave it to the singers to guide us through this.
Dee took some time this past week before she headed off to choose a song that features Kaylin. So if you enjoy the way this brings her voice out, you let her know it at the end. A song called Pure Possibility.
When I look in your eyes, I see an innocent child. I see pure possibility. Power in your very hand. The world is at your command. You are pure possibility. Do you know you are precious? Do you know you are free? Do you know you are a child of God, and that makes you royalty? Do you know your dreams can take you beyond your imagining? Unlimited and free, pure possibility. Perfect and one of a kind, it truly boggles the mind. You are a pure possibility. Remain brave-hearted and true, and let the magic come through. You are a pure possibility. Will you give your very best to life all your days through, and remember who you really are when they try to label you, and know that love is closer than the breath inside of you. Unlimited and free, pure possibility. Within every soul, we are perfect and whole. There lies pure possibility. Pure possibility.
Good job. Oh, what a joy to be able to have this morning. So let's join me as we bless those gifts that are flowing in and through this community and in and through the world. Know that as they flow in and through this ministry and out into the world, they carry with them those truth teachings, that love, that deep inner compassion and peace. And we see those things seeding the world and changing and shifting the experiences that we have. And for this, we are grateful, and so it is. So I selected us an affirmation. So this is for all of you out there virtually who aren't able to reach out and draw one of these. And this is so true. Because as we show up as who we are, what we are doing is this. I am a role model for others. So as you show up as that place, as that inner peace and inner presence, you are showing others how to be that. And so we're blessed for that. So join me together as we do our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Have a blessed week. We look forward to seeing you throughout the week and back here next Sunday.
We're going to do that song again if it's okay. We're going to feature her one more time. Okay. I'm Mama Winstead.
When I look in your eyes, I see an innocent child. I see pure possibility. Power in your very hand. The world is at your command. You are pure possibility. Do you know you are precious? Do you know you are free? Do you know you are a child of God, and that makes you royalty? Do you know your dreams can take you beyond your imagining? Unlimited and free, pure possibility. Perfect and one of a kind, it truly boggles the mind. You are pure possibility. Remain brave-hearted and true, and let the magic come through. You are pure possibility. Will you give your very best to life all your days through, and remember who you really are when they try to label you, and know that love is closer breath inside of you, unlimited and free, pure possibility. Within every soul, we are perfect and whole. There lies pure possibility. Pure possibility.